So what is SAG? Stratospheric Aerosol Geoengineering, also known as chemtrails. And the particles, for people who want to know, is an aerosol is a suspension of fine solid particles or liquid droplets in a gas. First time global warming was mentioned was in the Indiana Hammond Times in '57. And they stated that California scientists were studying the possibility that this continued pouring forth of waste gases may upset the rather delicate carbon dioxide balance in the Earth's general atmosphere, and that a large-scale global warming with radical climate changes may result. That was ¡57! And up came the patents. This has been in the other presentation as well. And this is based on a patent from 1927. So they have been at it for quite some time. This is another patent that was mentioned also. And these are patents from 1965 and 1988. And then Welsbach materials and the oxides of metals are mentioned. Stuff that does not belong to our environment, to our lungs, to our systems, or whatsoever. This is a document that I found that has a conclusion that the most effective global warming method of mitigation is the spraying of reflective aerosol compounds into the atmosphere, utilizing commercial, military, and private aircraft. So there's your answer also. Global warming. What did NASA say in October 2005? Persistent jet contrails, read chemtrails, form man-made clouds that are trapping the warmth in the atmosphere and exacerbating global warming. They contribute to long-term changes in the Earth's climate and affect natural resources. And the US Army said in spring of 2008, the problem is with the sun. Global warming is not directly caused by civilization. And up comes the Council on Foreign Relations in May 2008 and says geoengineering is any of a variety of strategies such as injecting light reflecting particles into the stratosphere that global warming. So they're back at it again. This is the weatherman who said, I know about this. This is radar stuff, and I know because I was in the army. But who is doing all this? From my research, I concluded that it is people like the US military, the Pentagon, international governments, rogue nations, and global corporations. And there's one name that I want to give you to research for yourself, and that is DynCorp. DynCorp is a semi-military organization, has also ties with commercial airlines, and they have patents on vaccines. So, interesting combination. Well, who? Well, this darling, Mr. Brzezinski, Obama's teacher, he said in 1970, technology will make available to the leaders of major nations techniques for conducting secret warfare, of which only a bare minimum of the security forces need to be appraised. In fact, I think they have only to warn one official. That's it. And that official can keep his mouth shut so nobody knows. We don't know. We don't hear about it. And techniques of weather modifications could be employed to produce prolonged periods of drought or storm. Yes. This is the document that was mentioned earlier also, and the interesting thing is it was written in 1996, and it was created because in that period there was for the first time computer power to compute huge plans that you want to make. So with these same Cray computers with Oracle 8i software, they reverse engineered the 1918 flu virus, which is very similar to the H1N1. And also they had this document with 6 different scenarios, plans, what do we do here in 1996 to have this or that outcome in 2025. And in one of the 6 scenarios that was called digital cacophony, there is a timeline and that mentions flu pandemic in 2009. Interesting. And this is what Mr. Vermeer showed us already, but then in a different view. But here you can see how you can manipulate things and use them to your advantage and to the disadvantage of your so-called enemy. Does that mean that our governments actually are harming us? Would they do that? I don't know, biowar trials on UK citizens between 1940 and 1979. They sprayed E. coli and Bacillus globigi and zinc cadmium sulfide, all carcinogens. And another entity, together with an anthrax simulant and phenol, they spread that on UK citizens. And I took that example because in America you have examples like this galore, but it's important to keep it closer by home here. And Sue Ellison is the spokesperson for Porton Down Government Laboratory. You have Fort Detrick in America, the biowar laboratory, and you have Porton Down in the UK, the biowar laboratory. And when they accidentally released foot and mouth disease in 2001 in the UK, this spokesperson was asked whether they were going to do more trials on the civil population. And the answer was, it's not our policy to discuss ongoing research. In other words, shut up and be a nice guinea pig. This is Porton Down. It looks a bit like Palace Soesdijk, I think. But they had to pay out £3 million in compensation to veterans of a test with sarin nerve gas. And this is the guy that survived that, Ken Earl, and he has this group and he is fighting for their rights. So, do the governments do things that are not nice? I'm afraid so. Same goes for chemtrails and the flu. In 1998, between 2000, the CDC had 52 weeks of epidemic levels of fatalities from flu-like illness, pneumonia, and related cardiac arrests. And it's, mind you, it's a NASA document. And in England and Wales, people were sick within 1 week. Almost 100,000 people and 8,100 died, which was twice the usual number. And then we have this, another coincidence. We have Mr. Moshe, who was tasered and pepper sprayed and everything, and he wanted to warn the world about a pathogen that was being created in the lab. And shortly thereafter, in the Ukraine, came this strange illness after hundreds of eyewitnesses had seen low chemtrailing above Kiev days before the outbreak. And they called it the mutant black lung flu virus, which makes me think of Yersinia pestis, the black plague. And I know for a fact that that is a biowar specimen that they are working on. And by the way, in America, there used to be some like 400 laboratories that had special biowar permission, so to speak. Now there are 1,088 in a very short time. So is there a method to this madness? Yes, it's even carved in stone. It's called Georgia Guidestones, and I leave it to your imagination what this might mean: maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. And anybody who still thinks I'm saying nonsense here, we have Denver International Airport. You arrive there and you get murals like these. And you have chemtrails here.